Hello Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to your July 2016 love and general tarot card readings. Let's go ahead and get started with your love reading. Okay, give me just a couple seconds to shuffle and we'll get started. Well, what's interesting about this reading is that I'm not seeing any specific people, okay? So which tells me it's mostly about you and your energy. So probably the story will be the same if you are in a relationship or not. The good news is whatever that is happening in your life, you're feeling pretty darn good about right now. Maybe there are external things, right? But in general, I think your support system is good. Your partner is good. If you're dating, maybe you're deciding not to date and you're feeling pretty darn good about it, right? Like you're deciding to just be single and have a good time, and not pressure yourself in any way. I think you are feeling rooted, feeling grounded, and that those are things that you might even be providing by yourself or with friends and family close to you, that you are feeling the effects of your support system, okay? There may have been something quite sudden that happened recently with the Tower in reverse, right? And maybe it was something that was not so great, something that was a significant challenge. And the good news with the Tower, no matter what, right side or not, it always brings about positive change. Okay, positive change in you, positive change in the world around you. It causes you to think. Okay, it forces you and it projects you into this state of visualization, this state of projection, what's really important for you in your life at this time. The problem is that sometimes when we are hurled into this state because of some form of inevitability, right? This Tower is an inevitability. It had to happen. There was some universal intervention, some universal impact that this scenario, it had to happen for you in your life, and not just you, but everyone around you that it affects, okay? And it does hurl you into thinking of such questions of what really is important, and what do I really want in this life, and what do I seek, really? What is all of this for? Sometimes you don't have the answer for those questions, leaving you in a state of confusion, because even though your support system is good and overall you may be feeling happy and grounded and like things are good the way they are, the overall purpose and the overall scope of everything, and I know it's so much, but the overall scope of everything can be very overwhelming, especially emotionally. If you're single and what you want more in this world is, a husband or a wife and a family and children, but yet you are dating and you are going out, and what's more important, having a good time or those obligations? What's more important, family and settling down, or adventure and using this life to explore? And neither one is better than the other, it's just different. And I think you're feeling some internal conflict here because of something that happened, something that, like I said, is hurling you into this state of projection and this state of thinking about life in a very existential way. And yet you might be coming up empty in terms of answers. I feel like you are going to distract yourself with work. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. I'm going to just be super blunt about it. You're just going to put your head down. You're going to do what you need to do. You're not going to focus on, you're not looking at the thing that happened. You're not maybe even really processing that thing that happened. Okay, you might be thinking this, you might be feeling this, you might be questioning things, but you aren't nurturing those things. You're distracting yourself with work. It doesn't have to be your work. It can be, the tasks of your family and getting your kids ready. It could be the tasks of, some hobby that you're doing, or, whatever. And I think there is some element of what's interesting is how much blue is surrounding this, blue and then yellow in the center. Blue indicating truth and, even levels of our subconscious and levels of things that we don't know we feel sometimes, and we don't understand what we're feeling sometimes. And as much as we would like to celebrate our lives, and as much as we would like to celebrate our current state and be happy and just enjoy, Capricorn, you are a very dutiful sign. You are ruled by Saturn, and that is, a very large, it's being a part of something bigger, of institutions and organizations and society as a whole, and this global planet as a whole. It's very much, where is your place in this world? And as much as you would like to just forget it and just have fun, it's not really in your internal nature. And I think that by just socializing and going out and trying to have a good time, it's not really going to distract you in the way that I think you want to be distracted right now because of something that has happened. It's not going to. And I think maybe some of you might be going through a breakup, or there might be some, because of this, okay, 10 of Cups reverse, that maybe, especially if you're just kind of dating someone and you might just not be feeling it, and it just might have come to fruition. It just might not have come to something greater. And I think maybe you're happier, even though this is a card of like family and people around you, it's also a card of roots and foundations. And, I think some of you are happy being alone and happy not having an obligation. Some of you see family and friends and relationships as too much of a burden, as too much of a responsibility. And, I'm sensing with this, this is kind of a sad row, to be honest with you, a little bit of conflict, a little bit of competition. I think that this really could be in response to some of the things that happen. Maybe you'll be a little bit more argumentative than normal, and you'll be maybe even pushing people away from you because of what you're going through, and because of what you're thinking, and because of maybe some difficulty processing what happened. Now, again, this is really, it doesn't have to be relationship related. It could be, but it could be some external factor, because I'm not seeing characters here. It could just have been some external factor that affected you and is affecting your internal mental state and your emotional state. So like I said, maybe you will be a little bit more argumentative. There's definitely an element of people in these cards, people around you, friends and family. And I'm wondering if you might not take on a little bit of an edge with them. Okay, you're feeling some form of pressure. You're feeling some form of even, being a little bit in denial, not about what happened, but about your feelings about the situation. And like I said, I'm going to use that word again, being hurled into a state of projection, thinking big picture, but not being able to formulate an answer. It can be very frustrating. And I think there's a severe sense of feeling lost and feeling like life isn't what you thought it was. Life isn't what you thought it was supposed to be. That maybe there was some romantic idea or some pie in the sky idea about something, and it's just not like that. Be careful what you say to the people around you. Be careful of what you project onto others. This mask, okay, of pretending like it doesn't affect you, it does affect you. And the more you pretend that it doesn't exist, the more that you ignore, I think the more prolonged the healing process. Now, let me pull out some more cards. Sorry, my stomach's grumbling. I have not eaten yet this morning. Well, I'm not surprised that Knight of Wands has come out. We think we've had fire energy in almost every single reading this month, maybe with the exception of one or two. But honestly, this fire energy is everywhere. People are taking on an air. It doesn't have to be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. It could really be anyone. Okay, and in all honesty, I kind of feel like it's you. Okay, you are taking on this Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is both my favorite and one of my least favorite court cards. Okay, I love this character because he is so magnetic and fun, and he is so, adventurous, and, he draws people into his world. He loves having people. He loves being around people. But the reason why I don't like it is because it's almost just because of an ego. It's not as genuine as you might like. Very loyal to friends and family. It takes a while to get to that point of loyalty with them, though. But they are very loyal to people. But they also aren't like genuine always in the things that they do and the things that they say. It's very difficult to figure them out. They're not so clear. They are confusing characters, right? The knights in general, all the knights are a little bit more confusing in nature just because they're not fully developed, right? They are considered the adolescents of emotional maturity. Kings and queens, the highest level, pages, the lowest, and they're sort of stuck in the middle, right? They're the middle child. And, this character, and I'm not trying to be insulting, it's just based on what you're going through, I think you are taking on this energy, and finding it difficult to let go, and yet there's still that element of denial. Almost like you're pretending like it didn't happen. You're pretending, you're putting on some sort of a mask. This is not you by nature. This is not your natural state. Capricorn, you're an earth-like energy. It's very different. You operate on different wavelengths. So here you are taking this on, in a romantic setting. This can even lead to multiple partners, bringing on, just dating for the sake of dating, but not really having a goal in mind, not really feeling like you are truly wanting to commit to anybody, like you just aren't, you're not in it to win it. You're just there to have fun. You're just there to have a good time, but maybe even a little bit in a destructive way. If you are in a relationship, you could be masking something from your partner. And like I said, in a little bit of a destructive way. If you're not honest with your partner, if you aren't honest with how you feel and with what's bothering you, and being honest about being lost is okay. It's not anything to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. When something like this happens, it does shake our world, our ideal system, our egos. It all comes crashing down. You realize your state of vulnerability. You realize what you, like that you are human almost. You're not above everything else. You're the same, no matter how much money you have, no matter what kind of cars you have in the garage, no matter how big your business is, no matter your education level, no matter your status in the community. It doesn't matter. You're human, and you are subject to elements of the human experience, and this is one of them. And I think this energy here is more you falsely trying to boost your ego a little bit for the sake of, I don't know, feeling better, saving face, whatever, like you fill in the blanks here. This is a very intense reading. It's not as positive as, of course, I would have liked, but you can't always, a lot of the energy or a lot of the signs this month had tougher readings. For me, it wasn't all hunky-dory. Especially for some of my signs. And even with the Swords 7 in reverse, though, I do love this card because it does mean, we have 2 7s, right? 2 7s, this one reversed, excuse me. It does mean that you're not specifically consciously self-sabotaging, okay? Although there might be elements of that underlying, okay? The feeling of feeling lost, that state of vulnerability, that's not something that you can mask. It's not something you can really run away from. It just is. And the thing that you can, sabotage, though, or the thing that you can affect are the people around you. And there are people around you, people that are around you that care about you, that love you. And I don't think, they're going to see right through it. They're going to see right through this, and they will still be there. Your support system is solid. Everything is circulating around your support system. So if there are issues in your life, now is the time to lean on people. Now is the time you don't need to bear this load by yourself. You don't need to, and you certainly don't need to take a tone with people and be short with them, and because that, like I said, no one's gonna see through this. They know who you are. They know what you are, and they know you're not like this. Okay, this is just maybe more of a coping mechanism to deal with this. Okay, so really intense reading, and I have a feeling it's not going to apply to a lot of you. So if it doesn't apply, be sure to check out your ascending or moon sign as well. I know for me, my ascending sign, which is Libra, almost always almost always speaks more clearly with me than my sun sign, which is Virgo. So almost always. So let's go ahead and do your general. So these are your general energies, Capricorn, for July. See so much blue, so much happening within you, within your mind, within your heart. Not necessarily seeing anything like work specific or in terms of your boss or anything like that, or in terms of clients, and just energies in general. And we have a couple repeat cards here. It's really pulling back to that tower, and whatever that tower is and represents for you. The Five of Swords, so similar to that Five of Wands. What are you fighting for? What are you hanging on to? This is a card of empty battles and not worth fighting, and a card of bad habits, and allowing yourself to just let people walk away, and not caring so much about the outcome, not caring so much about what happens in the long run. It's very much about the moment and what you feel is best for you right now. And that's the Knight of Wands, right? This is about the moment. This character lives only in the moment, only thinks about now. What is pleasing to you right now, as opposed to how it serves you in the grand spectrum. And here you are again, Two of Wands, this time right side up, projecting out. What is it in life that you want? Very existential. What is my place? What are my dreams? What world do I wish to create for myself? Doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 16 years old. You could be 66 years old. What world are you creating for yourself? And I'm seeing some miscommunications. I'm seeing some broken contracts, broken agreements, broken arrangements. And, and I think that there could just be so much of this because of, some state of confusion, some state of... What's interesting for me is normally I see this card and this card to be like a lessening of the energy, but for some reason with this particular reading and the way that these this story is sort of laid out, I feel like it's a deepening of the meaning, a deepening and a more severe sense. So a more severe sense of healing, of sadness, of broken hearts, and not to be so much of a Debbie Downer. But sometimes, you really do need to just allow yourself to just feel. Okay, there might be some message coming your way, some information coming, some news, okay? And I don't know exactly the place of this news or exactly what the outcome of this news is going to be. There are some, like I said, I don't see a lot of work elements, but there is this Ace of Pentacles here, which usually indicates some opportunity of some sort, a new client coming in, a new commission piece, or a new promotion, or even just some freelance work that you decide to take on and increase your income in some way. And I think you'll take it and it will be fine. It doesn't necessarily have a place in the overall energy of this reading, but a message here truly is, letting go and not being so stubborn and so stuck on an idea. And sometimes it's even like, well, what you're stubborn and you're fighting for a cause, but you don't even really know why that cause is so important. You don't even have reasons for why you're fighting. You're just fighting. You're just cutting into people and saying maybe even hurtful things, and people can be saying hurtful things back to you. It's not just you, but there's definitely an air and energy of a little bit of coldness about you, and a little bit of like, it's like a very flitty energy, very like you just write it off, nothing really bugs you, it's water down a duck's back. But again, it's not real. It's not what you're actually feeling. It's not what your mind is actually doing. You're grasping, you're trying to make sense of things. You're looking at possibilities, you're looking at options and choices, and which way do you feel? Is it good? Is it bad? And yet unable to attain some level of an answer. I don't know why, I just think that things in general are going to be a little bit challenging for you this month. I don't think things are going to run as smoothly as you would like. You are very much going to be a little directionless, if you will. I think your ideals and your goals and your standards will be challenged. The things that you thought, the things that you believed, your belief system in some way will be challenged. You might not have a lot of success in things working out, in whether it could be a relationship, it could be a new client opportunity. Be careful what you say, be careful of the way you behave, be careful of how things are managed, because there could be really great things in it for you. There could be great opportunities, but your attitude towards those things can be a little bit destructive, okay? And it's all because of something else, right? It's not because you're just this way. It's because you have been deeply affected by something, that there is something in your life that has broken your heart, has caused sorrow, has caused grief. Okay, yeah. Sorry, getting my stomach. I'm gonna have a big breakfast after this. Okay, more fire energies. I told you. It's not going to last forever. This is a promise. It's not going to last forever. It's a temporary glitch in the system. It's a temporary glitch in your life, in your mental state. It will come to a close. Just like the tower is an inevitability, so is death. Death always comes. It is inescapable, and it should be welcomed because it opens the doorway for new beginnings, for new pathways, new mindsets, new understanding, and new appreciation for life. Okay, it is a welcome change. It is a process. Okay, the only thing that brings about death is time. Right? You cannot force this change. You cannot force your way through this phase. This is healed only with time. Okay? And after, okay, there is a growth. There is growth here. This is not all for nothing. You become, like I say, and I feel like this actually is like both you, okay, not someone else, really not someone else, very much you taking on, and the Emperor, you know, trumps the face cards, the court cards, because it is a major, or it is a trump card. And I feel like you are morphing into something and someone more mature, more experienced, and sometimes that experience affects your ego a little bit. Sometimes it does affect you in terms of your ability to connect with people. You might be a little bit shut off. Okay, and this is a temporary reading. It's not from now until the end of time. It's just July. Okay, so don't freak out. It's change in a positive way, but it does cause you to maybe have a little bit of a colder look on life. Maybe it is something negative that does happen or did happen or that you are currently going through that is sort of, you know, it is a growth experience. You do progress from Knight to Queen, okay? You become something bigger, something greater. You become stronger. But with that strength comes a little bit of bitterness as well. Okay, and again, I think there could be something, you know, that's very common, you know, if you go through something challenging, your skepticism goes up, your red flag feelers goes up a little bit more, and it's just kind of the way it is. But I don't think that's, you know, forever and all time. Like I said, it's just a temporary situation and you will get over it. It's not going to last forever. So Capricorn, my goodness, this was a very challenging reading, and I hope you have an okay month, and I hope it provided at least some insight for you. If not, again, like I said, check out your ascending and moon signs. And I think that's it. I'm going to leave you with that, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I'll see you next month in August. Bye.